A well-regulated militia, being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. I am the Patriot. And that was the Second Amendment to the United States Constitution, arguably the most fought-over amendment to the Constitution, right alongside the 10th and the 18th. Today I shall be explaining what this amendment means. Instead of splitting this up into different phrases, I shall look at it as a whole, but let me first explain the meaning of some words. Small disclaimer, this amendment is partially defined but not limited to as I define it in this video. First, militia. Militia, or at least back then, was defined as every man who could fight. It was a group made up of every man able to fight. This militia would be called in times of war in order to defend the U.S. from foreign invaders. It would be kept well. Every man would have done their part. One thing I want to make clear, however, the militia is not part of the Army. An excerpt from the Constitution, Article 2, Section 2, Paragraph 1, Sentence 1. The President shall be Commander-in-Chief of the Army and Navy of the United States, and of the militia of the several states. Notice that first, the militia is different than the Army, and second, it is the militia of the several states rather than the militia of the United States, which means that it was each state's responsibility to produce a militia, not the national government, which means that it was rather more like an army for the state rather than an army for the country, which means it wasn't the Army. Second, security. This word is only partially defined as self-protection, but extends to mean being secure, which includes feeling secure. Third, people. People means anyone, really. Fourth, bear. Bear means to carry. Fifth, arms. Arms are any weapons used for self-protection or war. Sixth, infringed. Infringed means to have encroached in a way that violates law or the rights of another. So a constitutionally correct definition would be a well-regulated group of any people who can fight to defend the security of their state from outside invaders, being necessary to the security of that state, the right of anyone to keep or carry any weapon used for self-protection in war shall not be encroached in any way that violates law or the rights of another. If you say, we don't need that, we have a modern police force. First of all, I want to say that the police are a needed part in any country. However, in order for society to be safe, people must be allowed to have guns. If you see someone carrying a gun around you, you are less likely to do something illegal. If you hear a shotgun cock, you might have second thoughts about robbing the house you are in. Also, the police have no legal requirement to save you. Their job is to foil the evildoer. And putting your life in the hands of people who only have sort of a clue about what crime is going on based on what you said in a freaked out set of mind is a rather scary concept for me to handle. Plus, the police have an average response time of 10 minutes. By the time you notice there is a bad guy knocking on your window, it'll take the police much too long to get there in time to save you. However, the average response time of a 45 when you pull the trigger is 0.01 seconds. Also, even displaying a weapon can end the scenario. If you cock a shotgun next to the window and aim it at me, I will most likely run away before endangering myself. In order to restore the Second Amendment and make the USA safer, I propose the following items. I think that everyone who wants to be able to carry a weapon below the age of 21 must have 10 people who sign to say that the person in question is mature enough to carry around or own a weapon, and the document which they sign must be documented as having been created. This document would grant both concealed and open carry. The person who has this permit will keep that paper and can be asked by police to show it if said police thinks he might be underage and not have a permit. However, I do think that this clause mentioned above should be limited to those 12 and older. Once the child reaches 21, the files documenting the child's document granting open and concealed carry would be deleted, as they should no longer need their license, as open and concealed carry should be legal without constraint for those 21 and older. Now you're probably thinking, hey, wait a moment. The Second Amendment was implemented in order to form a militia, not to give people the right to have weapons. You are half right and all wrong. There are two parts to the Second Amendment. The first part, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, was designed to form a militia which would give the state a little more arguing power in state versus country conflicts and during war. Now let's read the second part together. The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed, which means it shall not be infringed by any city, any county, any state, any province, and any territory under the USA's power, including the national government, and it shall not be infringed by any foreign power or international agreement. Alright, I'm done. Don't worry, I probably won't have another video which contains ideas you will hate me for in a while. That'll be the last 3 in the Bill of Rights. Thanks again for stalking and thanks for watching. I'll see you later.